got to do one for this. I was quite excited about it, really. I just had a phone call a little while ago from a customer, and he won't mind me mentioning his first name. His name's Gary. Hello, Gary, and get better soon. Anyway, I put up a video the other day talking about 10p's. I only put it up yesterday, and it's already been looked at, I don't know, a couple of hundred times, but Gary saw this video last night at 11 o'clock talking about all the 10p's, the old 10p's as well as the new 10p's. And I mentioned on the video about how you could just go into your local bank and go and ask them, have you got any old shrapnel? Have you got any old pre-decimal money? You know, and if they've got any old notes or pennies or 10p's or threepenny bits or whatever, they will let you buy it off them, and it will cost you face value. So you're not even paying, like even when I buy threepenny bits, I have to pay more than 3p each for them because I've got to buy them off a dealer or something. But when you buy it off the bank will only charge you the face value. And I used to have a couple of banks locally save them for me. So if you go and ask the bank and they've got some, they'll let you have them for face value. And how they get them is because other people will go in with a bunch of whatever, a £5 coin or some old pennies or 10p's or 50p's or whatever they've got, and they'll go into the bank and they'll ask the bank to cash them in, and all the bank can do is give people the face value for them. And then what the bank does is they're supposed to, every other month, they're supposed to send them off, do a bit of paperwork, send them off to head office, where from head office more paperwork is generated, and then they eventually go back to the mint and they eventually get melted down. That's what happens to all the old money. That's what happens to all the money that gets taken into a bank. So like, you know, the other year they stopped making pound coins and made new ones, and they demonetised the old ones. So you can go into a bank at any point with old pound coins and they'll give you £1 for each one. And if you go in with old sixpences, they'll give you 2.5p for each one. And if you go in with old 2 shillings, they'll give you 10p for each one. If you go in with an old penny, they'll give you a penny for each one. And if you go in with an old halfpenny, then they'll give you a penny for every 2 that you give them. Right? And for a sixpence, give them 2, they'll give you 5p. So that's what they pay you, but that's also what they charge you because they're not allowed to make a profit on it. Now, to avoid that paperwork, what happens is a bank will quite happily sell them to you because all they're doing is just giving you 50p for 50p or 10p for 10p. Their checks and balances system is still the same, hasn't moved, rather than go through the paperwork and send it all off to head office. Now, virtually every bank out there, so all of you, all over the country, no matter who you are, no matter where you are, no matter who you bank with, your banks will have this system, and the local post office and any bank, every bank, Lloyds, Barclays, NatWest, HSBC, all of them, they all have the same system in that every couple of months they're supposed to send it off. Now what actually happens is, in reality, they don't always send it off every couple of months. They're supposed to, but they don't, because no one's got round to doing it, or there isn't the staff, or whatever. And sometimes that can build up and build up and build up. Well, Gary watched the video last night that I put up yesterday. He listened to that information, and he went out this morning to his local bank. I won't tell you where it is, because that wouldn't be fair on Gary. It's somewhere in the country, let me tell you that. And he went to this local bank, and he just happened to say, have you got any old pre-decimal money? And lo and behold, the lady behind the counter said, as it happens, yes we have, we've got a cupboard full of it. We're supposed to send it back every other month, but nobody ever gets round to it, and it's just amassed and amassed and amassed and amassed. Loads of it. Something I've never even heard of before. I was blown away when I just was on the phone to him a few minutes ago, and I'm already calculating in my head how much money that cupboard full is worth, and we are talking telephone numbers. I said to Gary, mate, there's 2 things you need to do. 1 is buy all the guides that I've got, and 2, go back down to that bank as soon as you possibly can and clear them out. Get everything that's in the cupboard, no matter what it is, half p's, pennies, decimal half p's, the little tiddly ones, or the big half p's, or 10p's, or shillings, or 2 shillings, or crowns, or half crowns, or notes, or pounds, or fivers, or tenors, or whatever they've got that's old, take the lot. That's what I said to him. Anyway, so he went in this morning, because I'm getting ahead of myself here. It's a fantastic story. He's gone in this morning, he's asked her, she said, yeah, we've got a cupboard full of it. And he said, okay, I'll have 500 quid's worth, please. And she's let him have 500 quid's worth. Now remember, really important, everything you get off the bank, they have to sell it to you at face value. It doesn't matter what it's worth, they've got to sell it at face value. If the person in the bank knew what it was worth, then they would have probably bought it off their own bank themselves at some point. So nobody knows what this, nobody even thinks about it, they just think about it as money. It's the thing all my life, you know. I never even realised that the way to my own personal success was in my pocket all the time. I often talk about that. I have a laugh with it because it's, you know, incredible. I missed the boat on that for 50 years. So it's hardly surprising that there are people out there that work in the money industry that have no idea whatsoever about the money that they're looking at, because they just see it as money, like I always did. Anyway, so we got this 500 quid's worth of old shrapnel, and he's got hold of a load of 5p's and 10p's and 50p's and whatever. Lady said to him, don't suppose you want these, do you? Got a couple of white fivers here. And he paid £5 each for them. £5 each. I mean, you've got to be looking at something probably. I'd probably put a white fiver as a minimum 100 quid, I would imagine, to a collector worldwide, depending on the condition that it's in. So he's got a couple of white fivers. And then, of course, it depends on which white fivers, what dates and all the rest of it. They could be worth even more money. He told me the dates that he's got, but white fivers, you know, I don't mind. I'll be straight up and honest and go, they're above me. That's a different pond to the pond that we're swimming in. We've always been a little fish swimming in a big pond. We've grown a bit over the last year, but we ain't anywhere near that league to even contemplate knowing. No, so I've got no idea, but I do know, like anything else, there will be key dates. There'll be dates that are going to be worth a shed load of money, and there'll be dates that are just going to be worth, I don't know, 50 quid, 100 quid or whatever. The point is, oh, and the other thing was, straight away, he ain't even been through it all yet, and straight away he's looking through the 50p's and he's found himself a dual date, 1992, 1993. Get in. And he's paid 50p for that. Get in again. Well done, Gary. I mean, that is just, what a bonus. You know, and I have often said this, I've said it for way, over a year, is that you can find a dual date, not in your change per se, but you'll find it by going into a bank, asking them if they've got any old shrapnel and taking it off them. And if they've got 650p's there, one of them might be a dual date. You never know. That's how we found a lot of our, I mean, I've had to buy a lot of dual dates, but I have found a couple, and we've found a couple of key dates and rare dates and all that kind of thing by doing that, you know. So here's the thing. Am I saying to you, quick, get down to the bank because you might be lucky and get a cupboard full of pre-decimal money like Gary's found? Well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. What I am saying to you is, if you can afford a few quid, and by a few quid, I mean, I don't know, 20, 30 quid at a time, that kind of money, go down to your local bank, or go to a couple of banks, however many banks you bank with. Go in there and ask them. Ask them and say, what do you do with the old pre-decimal money that people give you, and the old notes and the old coins, etc. And could I have some if you've got any? And they might have some and go, yeah, we've got these, do you want them? And you'll buy them off them. It's that easy, it's that simple. You know, they'll go, yeah. If they ain't got any, they'll say no. And if they know you, you know, maybe if you're on first name terms with one of the people in the bank, you could say, can you let me know when you get some in, save them for me. And they won't mind saving them for you. A lot of places won't mind saving them. It's a lot easier to save them in a till, knowing that someone's going to come back and have them, and it's just going to be changed into normal money again, than it is for those staff to then fill in the paperwork, or the manager to fill in the paperwork every so often and send them back. They'd rather not deal with that paperwork. Anybody that works in the paperwork industry doesn't want to deal with the paperwork that's on their desk. They want to get rid of it as fast as possible. So I thought this was a really, really, really important story to share, because this is happening right now, and it's not only there in the bank that Gary went to, but it's there in a load of banks all over the country. Not maybe in as much quantity. What Gary has struck is a little gold mine for himself, and you know, full credit to Gary for finding that. That's just brilliant. It's like he's found a Willy Wonka ticket. Do you know what I mean? Chocolate bar ticket. He's found a winning lottery ticket, and that's just so lovely. You know, and he's not very well. He's not very well at all. He's had a stroke last year, and so send him best wishes and all the rest of it. But you know, even so, not being well, being unable to work properly and so on, being able to just sort of pick up on what somebody said, think about it and go, oh, I wonder if. Because that's how I started, by going, oh, I wonder if. And old Gary's thought, oh, I wonder if. I'll pop down and ask him and see. And he's popped down, and it's not the 16th of May for Gary, it's the 25th of December, it's Christmas. So, the lesson here, and the whole point of this whole video, to tell you all of this, is really, go down to your local bank, watch my videos, and you can see which ones are the videos that talk about the rare coins. I'm going to do another one for pennies and 2p's and 5p's, etc. But I've done one for 10p's, and that included some old 10p valuations. And I will do one for others as well if they ain't done. But have a look through the videos and get an idea of the prices I give you. The prices I give you ain't BS. It's not rubbish. It's not fairyland. Some people go, oh, your prices are a bit on the warm side, Ian. Well, maybe they are. But, you know, if after 6 years I've only got 6 Mary Roses in stock, I'm not going to sell them for £5 each. You know, all the prices that I go by and all the values that I give are based on 6 years hard work of us going through millions and millions and millions and millions of change. I mean, when I do the penny, I'm going to do the penny video shortly. When I do the penny video, I'm going to show the pennies that I've got. You won't believe it. 6 years worth. But, so I base it on pure personal knowledge of what I've sold the coins for and how many of them I've sold at that price, or how many I've got hold of to sell at that price. And there are some coins where I can't get enough of them. I could put the price up even more because I just can't get enough. As soon as I get them, they'll sell. So, you know, this is a really good one. This is like a community interest story. This is not me trying to sell you anything, and I'm not really giving any information about on this video, apart from giving you the information that you may or may not have known, that you can go into your local bank and post office and ask them, have they got any pre-decimal change, even the little half p's, because some of them are valuable. Have they got any pre-decimal change? And if so, could you have some? And you might be surprised at what you get. And I absolutely guarantee another one of you is going to walk into the bank, because of what I've now just told you to do. You're going to ask for some change, and you're going to get given a 1972 10p, or you're going to get given a 1982 to 92 10p, or a 78 10p, or you're going to get a dual date 92, 93 50p, or one of the other rare coins, or even a white fiver, or even an old fiver, or something. You'll get something, and you will be surprised, and it's only cost you face value. So now, if you put that in your box, you know, especially when you pick out the ones, like what Gary's going to do, he's going to search through, he's going to pick out all the ones that I've said are valuable, he's going to keep all of them in his change jar, all dated, so he's got all the dates in the same bag, all the 72s in one bag, all the 80s and so on, and put them away. And then the stuff that ain't worth a lot, he'll get in touch with me, and I'll probably buy it off him. I'll buy it in points or something, but I'll buy it off him. You know, and the same for anybody else. What you don't want, I'll buy off you. But what I won't do is, I'm not the kind of person that will pretend something's only worth 10p when I'm buying it off you, knowing full well I'm going to sell it for 15 quid. I don't do those kind of tricks. You know, I'll let you know the coins that I'm going to sell for 15 quid. If you still choose to sell them to me, that's up to you. I'll give you a price for them, and if you choose to sell them to me, then we both have a fair deal. But what I don't do is I don't pretend and only give you £1 for something that I know is worth 15 quid, you know. Not that kind of person. So save the ones that are worth saving. I can still sell the others that ain't as valuable, because I'll sell them for things like cufflinks and jewellery and one thing and another. So, you know, there's no problem there. The ones that are worth the money, they're the ones you want to keep. So look for my videos, because, and I've started saying this now too, if you've got a baby right now, 2019, if you've got a baby or young child, if you look at all the videos, if you follow the advice I give you, and the advice I give you is not to give me money, but it's to get certain or keep certain coins out of your change that cost you face value, so you're not even buying them, you're getting them for face value. But if you take the information that I give you on all of the coins that I think you should put in a jar, you could put your child through university on that. And your university bills are in the thousands, and that could take care of that, but at a cost to you of, by the time you've got there, of only a couple of £100. Because the face value of all that will only be a couple of £100, even though it's worth £5,000. Do you see? You save all the coins that are worth something. Don't worry about selling them now. Not interested in selling them now. If you're putting it away for your future, for your retirement, or for your university of your children, or for the first car, whatever you're putting it away for, you're not selling it now to put the money away. Put the coin away. Don't try and sell the coin now. Put the coin away. That's your savings. Put that 10p in the jar that's worth £15, and you've saved 10p, but you've also saved £15. And of course, in 10 years' time, that's going to go up by another £5 or £10. So for something that's worth £15 now, you could say it'll be worth £25 in 10 years. So you put 10p away that's worth £15, you're actually putting £25 in your jar. But you're only taking 10p out of your wallet, that's going to go in there, out of today's expenses and shopping money, to go in there. That's what you need to be doing. I need to be doing that on all of the coins that I tell you are worth the money. The 1982 penny that's worth £3 now, you put that away, because that's a penny you're putting in that jar. That'll be worth a fiver in 10 years' time. That's 500 times its value. 500. And you put your kids through university just on saving a few £100. There's nobody in the world can tell you how to do better than that. And I don't make any money out of telling you to do that. That is good, sound, honest advice and information. Anyway, there you go. I've gone rambling on again. My name's Ian, and we are the Great British Coin Hunt. So it's www.thegreatbritishcoinhunt.com. The Great British Coin Hunt.com. That's us. And we do reward points, and we give you reward points on all your spend, and you get free coins of us. And we also do investments and all sorts of lovely jubbly stuff, and lots of information about all of the stuff that costs you next to nothing. You can put in a jar, put your kids through university with. Wish I'd known that 20 years ago and been able to pay for my kids' universities. I couldn't put my kids through university, couldn't afford it. Never had the money for my children. Imagine if I'd have had this information 30 years ago. Life would have been completely different for me and my children. And they would have had a much better start to life than what they got. But I didn't have that information. You've got that information. Whether you're one of the people that takes up that information and does something with it, or whether you're one of those people in 10 or 20 years' time that says, yeah, I heard all about that, but I didn't do it. I lost out. I should have done it, but I didn't do it. You've got no reason not to do it, because not me or anybody else is asking you for any money. Every 1982 1p coin that you come across, you put in that jar, and you look at the other videos and you find out what the key dates are for all the other coins, including the pennies, and you put them in that jar. And if you've got a jar full of money, just empty that jar full of money out, only keep the coins that are worth anything, and all the rest, chuck them away. Put them in the holiday pot. All the rest that you don't want, put them in the holiday pot, or put them back in the bank. Get some more change, go through it. Do it as a family. Get excitement going. Because everything you put in that jar, and you watch that jar getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, everything you put in that jar is worth serious, serious money. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening to me waffle. And go down to your bank and see what you can get, and see if you can get something like Gary. And please, please, please put a comment on here. Gary, put a comment on here. And if you go to the bank and find something, put a comment on here. Let us know what you found. Be really interested. Bye for now.